room in the NFL, 32 starters, is the worst that I've ever seen in my entire life as a whole. The quarterback position is the worst I've ever seen. The athletes themselves, Dan, are the best we've ever seen.
Yes. We welcome in now Coach Jason Brown to the program. How you doing, Biggin?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Very good, man. So I want to start out, man. I mean, congratulations on all your success and how you're kicking ass and you're stirring it up a little bit. I mean, I want to start it out with this Mina Kimes thing. I mean, you are so right. I agree with you 100%. I think she's a buffoon. What's been the back and forth between you and her these last 2 weeks?
Really no back and forth, man. What happened was, so your audience knows the whole story. I've said it on my show years ago. I'm from Compton, man. You start none, don't be none. That's how I live. You start none, won't be none. I don't start shit, Dan. I'm not the one going at poking you. And I think that's kind of like what bitches do. I don't do it. 4 years ago, after Netflix and all that ended and I was coaching, I took 3 players from the University of Minnesota, from a good friend of mine, a mentor of mine, Jerry Kill, who's now at Vanderbilt. He sent me 3 players to JV. These kids didn't do it. They didn't do what they're accused of by their accuser. And I was real hesitant because I didn't touch players that had any issue with women whatsoever. If you put your hand on a woman, I got a daughter. My AD was a female. And I'm like, we didn't do it. So I go up to Minnesota. I talked to Jerry, talked to Coach Matthews, everybody, the interim head coach, because Jerry Kill left because of this. He left. Remember, they weren't going to play a bowl game because of this. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was going to play Leach and Wazoo at that time. And so I go up there, read this 86-page dossier with him, and I'm like, man, it scares me to bring him in, blah, blah, blah. They're like, JB, here's the evidence. And the broad's caught red-handed on film, lying and saying she made it up. And she wanted the clout, and she had sex with a bunch of different baseball, football, basketball players. And my 3 players get accused of the R word. So I bring them in, and Mina Kimes, Sarah Spain, and a broad name, Brenda Tracy. Okay. Now, mind you, Brenda Tracy has filed a suit against Mel Tucker at Michigan State and Mike Riley at Oregon State. And I bring this broad in after Mike Riley told me that, JB, I brought her in after the Oregon State thing when he was the head coach of Nebraska. He goes, I brought her in to speak to the players and make this amends. So I bring her into JUCO because Netflix became a deal in a household watch, and I bring her in. So right before she speaks, she asked me for $10,000.
$10,000.
I said, listen, girl, I'm at a JUCO. I said, we don't have the money. You agree to this because you said that's what you do, Dan. You're a fucking advocate. You want to let boys know how to treat women, blah, 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 blah. So she doesn't do it. So I tell her to kick rocks, and I fucking cussed the broad out and said, you're full of shit. 4 years later, her, Mina, and Sarah Spain come out, do a hit piece on me. I've never talked to these 3 girls ever in my life. They do a hit piece on me saying that I'm a fucking criminal because I took these 3 kids to Independence after they had false allegations on their name. After, Dan, these 3 kids, inner city Detroit kids, who's Ray Buford's dad was the chief of police in Detroit. These 3 guys filed a discriminatory lawsuit against the University of Minnesota for $30 million each, and they had no clue about it. And then they deleted the tweet, but I kept it forever, Dan. I kept that shit. And that's when it started right there. And every day I'm going to go at Mina Kimes' fucking nobody-ass neck. Because she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. So, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And so then all the people that went in her defense, former players that are now obviously on that ESPN channel, of course, they're paid actors. They have to do what they have to do. No former players of mine, at 28 in the NFL right now, none of my players that are on my show every week, like Super Bowl champ Eric fucking Weddle, who played safety, I think knows what quarters is. Sean King, Super Bowl champ, who's on my show every week, 3 times a week, I think knows what quarters is. None of them. We're all laughing at her, not with her. And I don't believe she understands it. But all the minions that defended her because they didn't realize what the conversation entailed, Dan, are absolute buffoons and should be embarrassed. Because all I mentioned was in this whole conversation, the weakness of the coverage. I never fucking said, hey, You can't beat quarters deep. You can beat any coverage deep if the fucking corner falls down, Dan.
I saw it.
I'm talking about the weakness of it. I never drew up one play. So Kurt Warner and I talk a lot, and I said, Kurt,
he was on a couple days ago.
And I said, Kurt, you're discussing something that was never the discussion. I said, you're drawing up concepts and routes and combination routes to beat quarters. I never drew up one play. You haven't seen it yet. Have you? Show me one. I can get up and draw 100 plays, Dan. That wasn't the discussion. I said, you don't just get up to the line of scrimmage and say, we're going to go quarters deep. No, I'm telling you, here's the weakness right here. We're not just chunking it deep. Well, that was it. And that's how it kind of blew up. And then all of the minions got on her side because, of course, she's a woman and she's a DEI hire. And that's what the fucking bottom line is. And the bottom line is her husband basically has a really big influence with the TV channels and all that, as we all know. And I didn't want to bring up that. But she goes and finds a false allegation hit on me for 8 felonies and posts that like a bottom feeder would. And that's what apparently I got cooked for, Dan, on social media.
By the way, Ice Cube's a dear friend of mine, too. Since you're from Compton, Ice Cube comes on the program. He's been on like 5 or 6 times, and we love the guy, man. So all good, my friend here.
No doubt.
All right, let me get some football in here, Coach. Let's go down here, man. What do you make of the Eagles?
Man, I think they win in spite of Jalen, not because of him. That's just me. That's my personal deal. I know you're a Philly guy, so that might
No, I actually agree with you.
Yeah, I don't. The truth is the truth, no matter who says it. I don't care if you hurt my feelings. People tell me all the time, like, dude, I don't hold grudge. I think it's called barbershop banter. You should have disagreements. Disagreements create great conversation amongst grown men. Nowadays, you got too many pussies online that hide behind Twitter. So my thing is, listen, when he's hot, and the players make plays for him, and he's had a great O-line, and Saquon doesn't hurt, and you got Lane Johnson, and you've had these great talented defense, and you get more possessions on offense because your defense gives you the ball back. And there's a lot of things that go into it when you're a coach that the common fan that just wants to bet DraftKings and shit every day don't have a clue about. I think he gets more possessions than most quarterbacks. I think he has shorter fields to work with. And if you look at it, basically every ball he throws is at or behind the line of scrimmage, unless he takes a chunk shot deep. And that's to AJ or Devontae. The problem is, how accurate is he when it's in the traffic and the teeth of the coverage? I don't see him throwing to the teeth of the coverage very, very often at all. I see play action pass or RPO over the top when Saquon has 100+ yards already, and they go, oh shit, we got to stop this dude. And then he takes chunk shots and hits them. Now listen, he had a great Super Bowl when they lost, 300 yards and all that. And then last year when he won, he was efficient as shit. But I don't think people realize in totality what really goes into this thing. And if you watch every game this year, other than the Rams game, he caught AJ late in the second half. The Rams choked that game off, and then the game they lost after that was to the Giants. He was very, very mediocre in anything in the teeth of the coverage. Everything is on the perimeter when it's one-on-one or it's quick bubble, throw it out, spit it out off RPO, run solution passes. I don't see him really dropping back and look, and then he looks to run. So listen, he is a winner though, and you ain't gonna take that away from the kid. I know who coaches him, his dad, everybody else involved. The kid is a winner, and I call that the it factor. You ain't gonna replace that part of it, but he fits that offense to a T because of what they do, and I don't think Sirianni gets enough credit, in my opinion. I think you win. It's not easy to do. And you win Super Bowls and go to 2 in a row and all that shit. I don't think he gets enough credit. Dayball got Coach of the Year that year, and the Eagles beat him twice during the regular season. If you say it's a regular season award, well, Sirianni beat his ass twice and then beat him a third time in the playoff and then went to the Super Bowl. Dayball got it. I think everybody gets an award now. And we live in the softest times I've ever been alive, and everybody gets a fucking award. And I call it mediocrity is your new excellence. And that's what we live in. Mediocrity is our new excellence, and I truly believe it.
Man, so you're not a fan of the participation medals. I love it here. All right.
Jesus.
Who do you think is the biggest threat to the Eagles? Or maybe you think that there is a better team. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now.
I'm
who
with
do you think is the biggest threat, and who do you think are maybe your top 3 teams right now in the NFC?
Rams, Seattle, Philly. I think those 3. Sam Darnold's playing as well as anyone, as I said he would. I had to coach against him in high school out here in California. Matthew Stafford's the best quarterback in football. I've been saying that for a couple years. And then Philly. They have the it factor with Jalen Hurts, Saquon, that defense, and I believe they just made some trades for Phillips and got Zaire back and are doing some things. They may not be done today. I don't know before this day ends. And everyone's making moves across the league right now. I got my kid Jermaine Johnson with the Jets, who I don't know if he's going to get moved or not after Dallas made that big move to get the D tackle
Williams.
So I'm not sure Howie Roseman's done, and he's running circles around Jerry Jones. This morning I said on my show, and then Jerry pulls off what he pulled off today, and hopefully that was the talk that was the pick he was talking about, or the trade. Not the slow white linebacker from the other worst defense in football. Fucking the Bengals.
Guy never paid. Hey, coach, the guy was a backup on the worst defense in football, and he brings him in, and I'm going like, dude, this guy doesn't even start on the shittiest defense in football. I'm glad it was Williams, because we were hearing that it was going to be Williams. What do you make of Dak Prescott?
He's a decent in-season quarterback. Him and Lamar Jackson are in the same boat to me. Overpaid, under-deliverers. That's how I've kind of put him. Quarterback, Dan, let me be clear, because everybody knows I go on Whitlock and all these other shows about Patrick Mahomes, and I've been calling that out for a while. I'm not a fan. I just think that you live in this era that none of these guys would have played in, other than Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. None of these other QBs would have survived in that era. Flacco, let me go back. Flacco. So there's 3 guys playing right now that probably would have survived in our era. Number 1, with the rules. I'm talking about rules, the way the game was played. Wideouts being able to get hit over the middle, all those things. So take that away. You play in a generation where we throw bubble screen, and that's why we have 80% completion percentage quarterbacks. Number 1, and Andy Reid, I think, saves Patrick Mahomes, not the other way around. And then you say these things, and people say, oh, you're a hater, and blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. I tell you the truth, because I watch football, and I have all the end zone film, and I actually break it down, and I'm like, these guys would have never played back in that era. So Dak, Lamar, and the quarterback room in the NFL, 32 starters, is the worst I've ever seen in my entire life as a whole. The quarterback position is the worst I've ever seen. The athlete themselves, Dan, are the best we've ever seen.
Yes. People
don't realize, though, you can be an athlete playing quarterback, or you can be a quarterback that's athletic. There's a huge fucking discrepancy in those two things. So we got too many athletes playing quarterback. Kyler Murray.
Justin Fields would never play in my era.
Kyler Murray, I call him the mental midget. We got so many fucking guys out here that can't. They just run around back there, Dan, and trying to ad-lib plays because they don't understand. They can't throw it on time and know, okay, 1's dead. Go to 2, 3. They have no clue because we failed them in high school, 7-on-7, college, where we transfer 4 times in 4 years. There's no philosophy, no fundamentals being coached and taught anymore. And then we get to the NFL, and now everything went from verbiage, the Gruden way, to now just hold up fucking Stephen A. Smith on a card and fucking, let's go here and fucking blah, blah. And we're doing baseball signs now. And you think these kids are going to get better and understand what it is? Back in the day, Dan, you brought that long-ass verbiage in the play call. It included protection, and it included a check with me, and it included, if the 3 tech's over here, let's run to the shade on outside zone or what it may be, whatever it may be. We don't do any of that no more. Now the kid's running the play at the line of scrimmage. He has no clue. He doesn't even check it. How many quarterbacks you see get up there and go, easy, 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 easy? I mean, have you seen it other than Aaron Rodgers, Flacco, and Stafford? I haven't seen another guy audible all year. So it's the worst I've ever seen, Dan.
I get asked this. I played against Montana, and I played against Elway and all these guys. Coach, let me say this to you. People they ask me this all the time. Sills, Brady or Joe? I'm like, I'm going to go down LT's line. That guy sat back in the pocket and took beatings from Reggie White and from LT. And let me tell you, if Joe played in today's era or with Marino in today's era, these guys would throw for 10,000 yards a year. I
Dan,
mean, can you imagine Jerry Rice with defenseless wide receivers? That rule they have, he'd have 2,500 yards a year.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm a Troy Aikman guy. People don't realize how good he was. He had this team, this loaded roster. Shut up. Like, don't tell me that, we can go down that line with anybody, any one of these guys. Troy Aikman would throw for fucking 8,000 yards a year right now. And he was the most accurate passer I've ever seen. And go ahead and talk about their O-line, all this shit. I grew up with Larry Allen, so rest in peace. But do you realize what he did? And they were in a 21 personnel team. This was old school West Coast. Bill Walsh, there was Ernie Zampese, ISO. But
have a beer. Have a beer. Oh man.
No, but I'm saying ISO pass, power pass, fucking take a shot. He went in 4 wide, Dan, throwing 35 times a game.
I got you, man. I'm with you. What do you make of Josh Allen?
A freak, John Elway-esque. I don't know if he has the it factor either, though. Like, he owns Mahomes in the regular season, but can't get through to in the playoffs. Like, these guys, I don't know. I haven't seen these freak of natures win when it counts. Have you?
No.
Lamar, Josh, Burrow got there, but I mean, now I don't know if they'll ever get back. Dak is an in-season quarterback, puts up big numbers, but then he's 2 and 8 in the playoffs. He's Romo. He's Tony Romo.
Yeah. Or he's Kirk Cousins. He's Kirk Cousins, basically.
I think he got overpaid. I don't know why they paid him, but you got all these guys out, all these quarterbacks. I think Purdy's a bus rider, not a driver. I would have never paid Brock Purdy. I would have never paid Tua, but I understand why Purdy asked for what he asked for because Tua got paid. So I better not get a dime under what Tua gets because Tua can't hit water if he fell out of a boat in Hawaii. I mean, it's a bad situation, and I haven't seen quarterback play this bad, and I haven't seen it this badly coached, by the way. Like, just the little things. And Dan, you played big-time college football at a historical, legendary place. You either coach it or allow it. We allow it at an all-time high. All the things I'm seeing, we allow.
That's right.
Don't carry out your fake. Don't fucking quarterbacks, be an actor. That's your number one job. That is not being taught. Because if it was being taught, then guess what? We'd see a lot more carrying out the fakes off of RPO and bootleg and double and triple option and all the things that the quarterbacks don't do. We hand it off and stand there and look. Well, guess what? Every linebacker in the goddamn place sees that and just boom, big gap. So we don't get a guy to carry and hold the linebacker for a couple seconds and let the back crease it. We don't coach any little details anymore. And I find that hard to watch, man.
Let me get into the college. I love what you're doing here, man. I do. I really do. Coach, let me ask you about college now. What do you make of the college game right now? Do you like where they are right now? Transfer portal, nil. What do you make of the college game right now?
It's bad. It's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible. I said it when it came out years ago. I played high school football with, Ed O'Bannon, who started that whole thing with the NCAA. And I said, name, image, and likeness should absolutely be off of what jerseys or whatever you sell. Johnny Manziel made millions of dollars. I talk to Johnny all the time and what he did for the actual university, right? He got screwed.
Like
Tebow, all these different, Lamar Jackson, all these guys, Vince Young, you know what he would sell right now? All these different guys, they should get paid for what they sell and their name, image, and likeness. Here's what happens, Dan, and still today, I still have a portal count. I still have access to portals and all these other things. You got 10,000 cats in the portal. There's 131 D1 playing schools. Do the math. Where are they going? Are they all going somewhere? No. So you got a bunch of trash in the portal. Let's just be honest. And what happens is you put all these guys in the portal and you allow them to transfer anytime you want. Hopefully that changes to one-time transfer, which they have.
Agreed.
And that'll hopefully get it back to a little bit of semblance of what it was, what we know it was. The issue is you allow 10,000 in there to transfer 4 times in 4 years. Now you guess what you've opened? Pandora's box. And this is the issue, man. You got a bunch of guys getting $350 NIL checks. That's just a fact. The majority of college football, the NIL is $350. Yeah.
Wow.
The average NIL kids get is $350. There's only a handful of Shedeur Sanders and Carson Becks, Dan. These aren't floating around the whole thing. It's not sustainable. So if you go look around, and then you got certain teams that want to pay the whole roster. Yeah, then you want to get guys paid, right? The whole roster. Let's say like Belichick's doing North Carolina. Everybody gets 20 grand or 30 grand. We're going to pay 85 guys 30 grand or whatever. There's schools doing that now, right? The problem is, man, when you pay guys $350 and they look over to their neighbor and he's making $2 million, you have a distinction in the locker room. So when the coach rips your ass, Johnny, and you're making fucking $500, guess what? You're like, man, fuck, I'm getting same ass ripping as this guy making $3 million gets.
Yeah,
that's the problem in the locker room. And I'm just telling you, you can see, Sark and Lane and all those guys that they're like, dude, I'm just telling you, just don't be surprised when all these guys get out of here. Like Sark, I think goes back to the league. I don't know what Lane will do, but these are guys I've known for a long, long time. I don't see these guys sticking around. I think Saban got out when he could. I think Krzyzewski got out before everybody. He saw the writing on the wall, what the NCAA was doing. I call them the non-caring assholes of America, NCAA. And that's just where we are, Dan. I think it's the biggest mistake in paying them the way they paid them. I'm all for paying the players. We all went through it and broke as a joke and financial aid. And I raised a daughter going through college. So my whole thing is the way we're paying them is what has opened up Pandora's box, and it's created this, gimme. These kids don't give a shit no more, Dan. There's no diploma coming from the Miami Hurricanes anymore that matters. Now he went to Miami, LSU, USC, and UCLA. Where's his diploma count at? What school does he claim? What boosters does he have later in life to go back and help him get a job or anything like that? That's the issue you don't find anymore. The fundamentals are gone, and the actual root and the what we grew up watching, raising kids and getting them to be men is no longer. We're raising boys, and we're just allowing them to continue to be boys. We're not taking boys and making them men anymore, and that's the problem. We're just allowing them. We're enabling them, and they're the most entitled generation I've ever seen in my life. So that's where we are.
I want to ask you a couple questions on some media people here now. Stephen A. Smith to coach is what?
Say it again.
To coach, what is Stephen A. Smith?
A fucking mockery. I don't know. He's an absolute joke. I mean, like, the guy's never played nothing. He really's never done nothing. And he's now jealous of our good friend, Pat McAfee.
Yep.
And so I think he's jealous of Pat and other things he does. And I'm so glad that Pat does it his way because without...
I love McAfee. I love McAfee.
Yeah, I used to be on the show every week. Listen, Stephen A. is a joke. Like, he's a loud guy, and we get it. I'm loud too. But everything he says is couldn't be further from the truth. That's the problem. You got to be loud and be right sometimes. Like, this motherfucker's never right, is he?
No.
I mean, goddamn. I just don't get it. Like, he came on the other day and was basically saying that the black GM got fired because he's a brother.
I saw that.
But you got Mike McDaniels, who's a brother. Like, make it make sense. Like, did you skip over Mike McDaniels, who fucking wears skinny jeans and vapes on the sideline, who allows these guys to go to work late and miss practice, and you think they're going to win a game? By the way, they're 1-14 on the road in cold weather games. There's a reason why, because your head coach is a pussy. So I'm just telling you.
Okay. How about Ryan Clark?
Oh, fuck, the worst. He don't like me either, so we got a major beef. My buddy Marcellus Wiley and him don't get along. We don't get along. He's just a race-baiting clown. And it goes back to Louisiana recruiting for me with him and a legendary high school coach in Louisiana, Coach Salt DiMaggio. Ryan got into it with him, and I defended Salt, and we got into it. And I'm like, dude, you're a joke. I said, you ain't done – I've done more for your brothers in your community than you have for your own. So stop. Miss me. He didn't like that too much because it's a fact. I got 28 in the league, 300 plus D1, and sent thousands on to college and got their degree. Not one kid's ever been arrested. And when you see that, that fucking made him mad as hell. He was hot as fish grease when I told him those fucking stats. But everything he spews out, Dan, is an absolute joke. And nothing he says is true. And everything is a race bait. I don't know how he has a job, but it's Disney, so it makes sense.
Absolutely. What do you think of Jason Kelce? Now getting into the media, what do you make of Jason Kelce? He's big in Philly now, and his brother now, Travis, and those guys are now becoming media stars. What do you make of those guys?
The same. I don't know. You don't know where Jason is one day or the other. Is he on Travis and the Swiftie side, or or is he back to being a conservative, a dude that's that voted for Trump? You never know. Like, you don't know what these guys are. That's the thing about it, Dan. These gray area, line toters are the biggest issues that we see. Like, I see the biggest. These guys are so gray area. They have no balls anymore to stand on business and say, this is who I am. We got so many line toters that want to play both sides. That's why America's become so pussy. Like, that just is what it is. Like, we have absolute nobody to stand on business anymore and say, no, this is me. You can like it or don't. Like, I really don't give a shit. Like, by the way, nobody in the chat pays my bills or any of that shit. And I sleep at night knowing that my kids didn't get arrested, go to jail, or die. Fuck wins and losses, Dan. I really don't care. Getting those guys to the NFL, getting them 10 first rounders, 8 Super Bowl champs, I think I did all right. Now, you can say what you want to say about me after that. I really don't give a shit. But I know this. We've created, hard heads create soft asses, Dan. And we've created a shit ton of soft asses out here. I'll tell you that much.
I want to hear the guys that you put into the league, and I want to hear the guys that you coached. I mean, what do you think has been the biggest influence that you had on these guys?
Honestly, tell them the truth. Yeah. You come to me and it was football. You come to me, it's football jail. You got to get out. Like, that's just what it is. Jermaine Johnson, first rounder for the Jets 3 years ago. Maybe moved today from the Jets. I hope he is. Fuck, the Jets are a joke. But I loved him at FSU. I loved him at FSU. Yeah, he goes to Georgia after me. He goes to Georgia. COVID gave him that other year. So he goes to FSU, ACC Player of the Year, all those things. Listen, man, he was a kid that I had to, you see it on Netflix. I had to cuss him out all the time. The problem is, Dan, this is the problem. Everybody out there wants to talk shit, and all these guys, the nobody. I call them nobodies, because they're absolute fucking nobodies. They can't produce a resume to you and I. So you're a nobody if you can't give me a resume, number one. Number two, show me a guy that I coach talk shit about me on social media. I'm still waiting. And show me how I got 41 guys D1 every year, and a new 40 came in every year if I'm such the asshole that everybody thinks I am. Because I think kids talk, Dan. They know. Yeah, I think they're going to be like, hey, man, Coach JB is a real one, but he's going to get in your ass, but he's going to love on you the same way, and he's going to give you the shirt off his back.
Coach,
recognize real, Dan. Real recognizes real, as you know.
How about this, Coach? Like, here's the difference between when I played at UM, the kids even there at UM today, and the kids that are going in college. You either went to prison or you went to the NFL. We didn't have any side doors. I mean, the kids that were at Miami, those were kids nobody wanted. They were from Overtown, Liberty City. They were from Belle Glades, Florida. They were from those places. I got thrown out of Maryland because they threw a guy out of a window. And I mean, listen, those were the guys Jimmy Johnson recruited. Jimmy Johnson used to always say this: you're not going to win championships with choir boys. And that's why my 3 years there, we lost one regular season ball game. I mean, it's just a different mentality today.
My guy Steve Kim loves you to death, man. So he's on my show every week. So he's a big Miami Hurricane guy. But yeah, it's interesting, man. You're right. I mean, look at Florida and Urban Meyer. Look at Pete Carroll and SC. All the teams that won, guess what? I wrote a best-selling book, Dan, and there's a chapter in there, and you know these words very well. It's called fuck stick, shit bird, and slap dick. And guess what? You and I are slap dicks, Dan. That means we're a non-malicious guy that does stupid shit, but in a non-malicious manner, right? That's a slap dick. Most of the chat are slap dicks, and we're slap dicks. Then there's fuck sticks, Dan. And you know, when you become a fuck stick, you're damn near on the border of no return now. And you're damn near toting the line. And then there's shitbirds, Dan. Shitbirds, there's no coming back. You're an absolute shitbird. But guess what, Dan? You and I know who the shitbirds are. They're the best fucking players on your team.
That's right.
So, Dan, they're the best players on your team. So guess what we got to do? We got to get them to the yard and making sure they don't fucking rob McDonald's, don't we?
Yes. Yes. So, a couple last ones here for you, Coach. Let me get this one here. Last chance you. What was that experience like for you, bro?
Listen, I don't have regrets. I don't have rearview mirrors in my car for a reason, man, because I don't look back. It deters you from looking forward, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm never going to look in the rearview mirror because I'm not going that way. At the end of the day, I'm going forward. And I look at it as I had an opportunity to get 13 coaches D1 jobs, which I did. Send 101 guys Division I in 3 years, which is still a national record. 11 of those guys went to the NFL. I think the opportunity presented itself and got those guys in front of 400 million plus people. And if I'm the sacrificial lamb for doing the show, so be it. I'm fine with that if that's what it takes. Because like I said, I really could give a shit less about what you think of me. All I cared about is getting those guys where they could not get themselves, which is the true definition of coaching. So getting them to where they could not get themselves. Before me, they couldn't get themselves out of a fucking paper bag. I got them graduated, 18 months, moved them on, taught them how it was. The real life is going to hit them in their mouth in about 18 months. So make sure this is the things that happen. And I don't regret anything other than I knew it. It wasn't the cameras, Dan. It was the microphone that was going to catch me because I'm not an actor. I was never an actor. I wasn't never going to change. And if you ask anybody that knows me for 40 years, they're going to say, that's JB. I don't see what the problem is. And everybody's like, man, have you ever seen this guy? He's crazy. No, that's just JB. And it's funny how you film me, Dan, which nobody knows. You filmed me for 5,000 hours in over 3 years. So you do the math on that. You got to see me for 18 hours in 2 seasons on Netflix. So what do you think they fucking cut out?
Of course.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't show me Coach.
Yeah. You know what, Coach, for like I told people, I've been on the air for 30 some odd years. You don't think eventually I'm going to say something fucking stupid?
Yeah.
And that's all they lean on. I've been on the air for 35 years. I mean, of course they leaned on to 2% of something that I said years ago, which had nothing to do with me. And it had really nothing to do with how I looked at people. But they don't give a shit about that nowadays, you know? I mean, everybody nowadays, you know what they do? They'll pass on some people, give them the hall pass. And guys like me and you, unfortunately, you know, people that are with our backgrounds, this is kind of what they do. They pick on guys like us.
Dan, they do. And the problem is these guys won't tell you, like Saban and Lane and all these guys that come in the office and talk to me, they'll sit there and laugh and say, JB, thanks for doing God's work. Because people out there that nobodies, we call them, have not a clue that if you film Nick fucking Saban for 5,000 hours, guess what you'll see?
Oh, yeah.
These guys act like we're just a bunch of saints and we're supposed to whisper sweet nothings to these fucking kids who, by the way, don't know what they don't know and know only what they know. That's the problem with these outsiders that have no clue that bag groceries at Walmart for a living. See, that's what the problem is. And the crazy part is, Dan, they come into our world and act like they know how our world operates. And that's the most embarrassing part. I get third-hand embarrassment, second-hand embarrassment, and every other type of embarrassment because I would never go into your space and say, hey, Dan, your editing here is fucking shitty. Like, I have no clue what you do. And I feel embarrassed for people that actually come into my world and act like they know what the fuck they're talking about, Mina Kimes. So that's the issue I have. And until we start telling it in the truth and letting people know, you need to stick to in your lane. I think we're going to continue to see the pussification of America.
Hey, Coach, tell folks where they can find you, brother.
Man, I'm the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, my co-host from Fox Sports. For every morning, we go live 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time, 9 to noon on the East Coast, every single day, 5 days a week. And we're live, man. We got one of the fastest growing sports shows growing right now on YouTube. And listen, we're doing that thing every day, and we get A-list guests on every day. And I think it's the realest show on planet Earth is my tagline. And that's kind of what I do, man. And people don't like it, and maybe YouTube bans me, and fucking everybody else bans me as much as they can. But I really don't give a shit.
Would you think you're the Joe Rogan of sports?
I don't know. I don't fuck with Joe either because he had me on his show, and then he walked in the room and said, "Oh, I can't have you on." So I thought he was a realer guy than he was, but I guess not.
Why didn't he want you on?
I don't know. It happened right after Netflix. I went on this tour. They put me on this tour and going on all these different shows, and from Theo Von to Rappaport to all these different people. And at the time, and I don't know, they came in, I was in the waiting room and told me no go. So I haven't watched Joe Rogan since. So I don't watch shows. I don't really watch shows, Dan. I don't really go. I don't even watch. I've never watched my own Netflix show ever. Can't do it. I've seen all the clips, obviously, but I can't do it.
Coach,
So
I actually, you know what I like about you? You're unique. I love the word unique. I don't know who the best people are on the planet on. I don't really know who that is. I love the word unique.
I like that. The thing.
Unique sells.
It does. And the other issue is man, leaders create more leaders last time I checked. That's just how it goes. I never seen a leader create a follower. And I would hate to be a guy that's tabbed that. And I just look at it like that. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be anybody that you want me to be. I don't want to be that guy. Oh, JB, you need to do this. No, the fuck I don't. You need to shut the fuck up. Because I don't go into your life and tell you what to do. That's the crazy part. I used to tell my coaches, Dan, real quick. I told my players too. I said to my coaches that couldn't recruit, I said, first of all, if you can't get no pussy, you can't recruit. Number one. Number two, and I'd fire your ass. Dan. I fucking fired you if you couldn't get no ass. Number one, because I knew you were never going to land me a big-time fucking player. Number two is, Dan, I'm looking at this stuff, and I used to tell the parents when they dropped the kids off, hey, parents, raise your hand. This is the last thing you're ever going to be able to ask me is right now because recruiting's over. So I'm not going to tell you how to parent. Don't fucking tell me how to coach. And that was it. That's it, Dan. That's the last. I don't want to hear no more shit. That's the same thing. I'm going to tell you guys in the chat. I won't tell you how to comment, but don't fucking tell me how to talk. I'm just telling you. That's just what it is. You can talk all you want in the chat. Hey, my bad, Dan. I choked up on a fucking drink, man. Water got down the wrong pipe, man. No. Hey, I didn't even know you were live. I was like, oh, fuck, man. I got the wrong pipe, man. Hey, I'd say, Dan, the pimps fuck up. It is what it is.
Hey, Coach, thank you so much, man. We got to do this again, man. Funny as
Always.
hell, man. I'll tell you what, I'll be checking your show out. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't contact sooner, man. Xander was like, this dude.
Anytime, man. Anytime, man. If you want to talk quarter, you want to talk throwing over the top against quarters, man, let me know.
You got it, brother. Hey, we'll catch up again, brother. Thank you so much, man.
All right, brother.